Hey guys, M.V.K here, uh, coming to you again. How's everybody doing on their end? I hope everybody is well as always. Uh, to the geek community and to just fans, period, we lost a pioneer. We lost the first woman to ever don the Batgirl costume. So, literally, yes, the first Batgirl. Uh, yeah, Miss Yvonne Craig passed away, I believe it was Wednesday or Tuesday, I believe. But she was 78 when she passed. And I'm here to just talk about my experience with her and remembering her in a good light. My sensei and my sensei, one of my former senseis always said, you know, when we lose someone, even if we didn't know them or so, we should always remember them, remember the goodness of their ascension in terms of, don't always look at the negatives, but look at the positives. And I'm here just to remember Miss Craig as my first experience as Batman. Now, no, I'm not in my 50s or 40s or so. No, I wasn't born in the 60s. I was born in 1982. I'm an 80s brat. I'm an 80s child. I'm a child of the 80s. But when I was old enough, 10, 11, 12 years old, here in New York, my father, who was a huge fan of the show, grew up with the show when it first was airing. He used to tell me stories about, the Batman show, that he would say, yeah, he's like, I used to watch it, me, your uncles and I used to watch it all the time, and finally they started here in New York, they started to run them syndication again. I remember it vividly, guys. It would come on right after the 11 o'clock news on Channel 11, which here in New York is the CW. Before it was called the CW, it was called WPIX. And it used to run right after the 11 o'clock news. They would show an hour of it. They would show an hour of Batman, the Burt Ward and Adam West show. And my dad would sit me down and we would watch it. And I fell in love with the show. I did. Say what you want about the hokiness and the when people got hit in the bonk and the biff and all that stuff. I fell in love with the show, and it was just good to have that quality time with my father. I have so many vivid memories of the quality time I had with my father that unfortunately there are some people in this world that don't have that, but I did. I had that with both parents. And my father used to watch show with me, and we would watch it, and I would, just laugh my head off at, the various characters and this various look of this character, and I would look at that, and of course, I'm 11 and 12, and here I'm into comics, so I look at Joker, Cesar Romero's Joker, and I look at that, and I'm like, okay, that's a little different, but then, seeing once Yvonne Craig came on as Batgirl, and seeing that, it's just like, I was like, okay, Commissioner Gordon. I was like, okay, Chief O'Hara, and Commissioner Gordon. But I was like, where's Barbara Gordon? And then finally she comes, and we see her, and I see her, and then she's got the bright purple costume, and she's riding her motorcycle, and just the geek in me of loving Batgirl, it was just flowing through me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just loving it, and though there were times, she would get caught a lot in traps and things like that, but still, I looked at it like, okay, but still, this is Batgirl. It was just like, wow. And, anytime she would fight, you notice, if you ever watched her fight in the fight scenes, she would never throw a punch like Robin or Batman. It was always her kick. She'd just throw her kicks, wham, or hit people with stuff. Or Batman and Robin would do like a routine with her. They'll pick her up and she'll boot them or something like that. It was so much fun to watch Miss Craig as Batgirl. I remember in one scene where, because Batman and Robin were always curious about her, like, where did she come from? Where did she come from, Batman? And you know how Burt would always be doing this and things like that. And I remember one scene where Adam West, as Batman, after Barbara came and helped them, he was like, "How did you know that me and Robin were in trouble?" or something like that. And I remember remember the line. The line went somewhere like, the one thing that you don't have in your utility belt, Batman: woman's intuition. And I was just like, things like that was just so much fun to watch from her, And when when you hear people like this, leave, because when you look at it, the cast of the original Batman series, what TV wise, because there was another Batman before that in the 40s and stuff, but when you look at that and you're just like, how many of them are still around to this day? And it's really sad when you say it, but you try to remember the good times you shared with them, and that's what I did. As much as it was hard and was sad for me, I really tried to remember the good times. I remember watching Miss Craig as Batgirl, and that's why I'm doing this, to kind of remembering her, the good times with her. And I remember watching it with my dad, and he would tell me, stuff like, yeah, she's been around for a while, and and my dad would tell me she was in Star Trek too, and I was like, really, Dad? Yeah, like, yeah, she was in Star Trek. And he would tell me, like, even my mother, she would come and watch it with us, and she would tell me, my mom would say, before Linda Carter, she was it, she was that female character, and it was interesting to see, and I truly believe my late mother, she was right, Miss Craig was the pioneer before Linda Carter. Miss Craig was it, and you gotta remember the times. This is 1960s, and it's a different time then, but still, she was doing what she could for the role, and she worked it to the best of her abilities that she could, which I liked, is that I respect the fact, and she had good chemistry with the cast from just my experience of watching it, and there were always times I always loved, especially anytime I remember vividly when Catwoman was on the show. I always wanted to see Batgirl there. That's what I was like, I hope Batgirl's in the episode, and she really did a very, very tremendous job, in my opinion, with the role. That made me care. It made you care, and though she's gone, she's passed on. She now is with some of the other members of the cast members in heaven now. We'll always remember her for who she was, and that's why I put on my Facebook and put on my Twitter account. Hashtag. Of course, the hashtag RIP Yvonne Craig, but I also put hashtag First Batgirl, hashtag Pioneer. Spread that word. Spread those hashtags. because that's what this woman was. She was a pioneer, and she helped in so many ways before Linda, Miss Carter. No disrespect to Miss Carter either, but yes, helped in so many ways. Then, of course, Linda helped, and then so many other women came along and helped to showcase that you can be heroes too. They can be strong, and you can be beautiful as well, but just showcase them what they are. And yeah, she was. So, to the Craig family, you have my condolences. Just know this too. If you had, your mother, your grandmother, whoever, know she was a pioneer, and she's touched many of us in so many ways, and she has touched the geek community exponentially. And other than that, guys, I'm gonna take my leave and just remember her. So to you, Mr. Craig, thank you, and to all of you, I bid you